I gave an AI assistant 7 jobs from a one-person service business. It turned messy call notes into a clean action plan. It sorted 12 inbox messages. It drafted replies, built a weekly report, repurposed a case study, answered common questions, and prepared a $336 estimate. Most of the work looked useful, but the inbox sorter misunderstood one message. That small mistake is the reason this video is not called 7 tasks you should hand over to an AI agent. The useful question is not what AI can do. It is which task can safely receive a first pass, which task needs a hard review checkpoint, and which task should never be your first automation. So I built one synthetic business, tested 7 common jobs, saved every input and output, and scored each task using the same 4 rules. The business is Cedar and Stone Home Services. Maya is a fictional solo owner who handles estimates, customer messages, scheduling, marketing, and weekly reporting. There is no real customer data here. Nothing connects to a live inbox, payment account, or calendar. That matters because a tool demo can look impressive while hiding the business risk. Recent data supports a much less dramatic picture of AI at work. A June 2026 U.S. Chamber Foundation survey found that personal productivity, drafting, summarizing, and brainstorming was the main use for 64% of small business AI users. Only 6% said they used AI for workflows with minimal human involvement. A 2026 Census Bureau working paper found a similar pattern. Most users were augmenting tasks, and writing, document analysis, and information search were leading use cases. That is the model for this test. The AI prepares. The owner decides. Before ranking anything, I used 4 filters. First, frequency. Does the task happen often enough to justify a repeatable workflow? Second, reversibility. If the output is wrong, can Maya correct it before anything happens? Third, verification. Can a human check the answer quickly against a source? Fourth, consequence. What happens if the answer is wrong? A task scores well when it happens often, produces a reversible draft, has a clear source, and cannot quietly move money or contact a customer. With that framework, here are the 7 tasks, starting with the weakest acceptable first automation. The input is a set of synthetic call notes and a fixed rate card. The customer requested commercial pressure washing for approximately 1,200 square feet. The rate card says 28 cents per square foot. The assistant showed the calculation. 1,200 times 0.28 equals $336. It excluded the loading area and flagged the surface condition, property access, measurement, after-hours work, final price, and schedule for review. That is useful preparation. But it scored only 74 out of 100. Why? A quote can change a customer relationship. A wrong measurement, missing material, tax rule, access problem, or pricing exception can turn a clean draft into an expensive mistake. Use AI to assemble the first pass. Keep pricing approval and the final send outside the model. Next, I gave the assistant 4 weeks of synthetic business data and asked it to compare week 28 with week 27. It calculated qualified leads up 20%, estimates up 26.7%, jobs won up 50%, collected revenue up 44.6%, and open follow-ups down 22.2%. The local audit checked the arithmetic. Every listed change matched the source file. More important, the output separated facts from explanations. It did not claim that a new campaign caused the increase. It said 1 week does not establish a trend. Score, 80. This is a good first pass when the source table is clean and the calculations remain visible. It is a bad place to let AI invent causes, forecasts, or financial advice. For task 5, the source was a synthetic walkway cleaning case. Study. The approved facts described inspection, plant protection, a test patch, cleaning, and client review. The source explicitly banned invented testimonials, percentages, certifications, guaranteed results, and made-up time savings. From that one source, the assistant created a short email, a LinkedIn post, and a 30-second voiceover. The audit found no unsupported claims. Score, 83. This works because the creative task is bounded by a source the business owns. The risk rises when a model starts researching facts, copying a competitor, or manufacturing proof that does not exist. The safe pattern is simple: one approved source in several review-ready formats out. I selected 4 messages from the synthetic inbox. an estimate deadline, an overflowing gutter, a Saturday request, and a pricing question. The approved fact sheet said the business responds within 1 business day, never promises same-day service, never invents credentials, never offers an unapproved discount, and never sends automatically. The assistant drafted 4 replies. Everyone requested the missing details, avoided a schedule guarantee, and ended with human review required, not sent. Score: 86. The important word is draft. A customer reply may depend on a phone call, a private note, a service exception, or an opt-out in another system. A model cannot use context it never received. Let it reduce blank page work. Do not let it create a false sense that the conversation is complete. The assistant received 1 approved FAQ covering response time, same-day service, travel radius, stain removal, water access, and estimate status. I asked 5 questions. Each answer had to name the section it used. 5 answers came back grounded in the source. No invented credentials. No guaranteed stain removal. No promise of same-day service. Score: 88. This is stronger than open-ended customer support because verification is easy. Compare the draft with 1 control document. If the source does not answer the question, the correct output is not a confident guess. It is a human must confirm this. Now the interesting failure. The inbox contained 12 synthetic messages. Leads, scheduling questions, an invoice dispute, an opt-out, a refund request, a record correction, a job application, and a compliment. Before generating the output, I wrote an expected category, priority, and action for each message. The assistant got all 12 priority levels right and matched 11 of 12 categories. It labeled a question about a wall crack as a new lead. The expected label was scope question. That mistake did not contact anyone because the recommended action was still human review and every send field was locked to no. Score: 91. This is exactly what a safe automation looks like. Useful even when imperfect because the failure is visible, reversible, and stopped before an external action. Inbox triage can organize attention. It should not resolve billing disputes, refunds, opt-outs, or record changes without deterministic rules and human ownership. The highest scoring task was also the least glamorous. The input was a messy call note for a storefront cleaning request. The assistant separated confirmed facts, action items, open questions, deadlines, and things the business must not promise. It captured the 1,200 square foot draft area, excluded the loading zone, noted water access, recorded the Wednesday estimate deadline, and kept Thursday evening access unconfirmed. 8 required facts were present. No customer message was created. Nothing was sent. Score: 94. This is an excellent first automation because the output is internal, the source is right next to it, and the owner can correct a mistake before it affects anyone. It converts information into attention. For many one-person businesses, that is more valuable than building an autonomous agent. The 7 tasks share one property. AI prepares a draft inside a controlled boundary. 3 categories should sit outside your first automation. Number 1. Moving money. Refunds, payments, payroll, transfers, and purchases need explicit financial controls. Number 2. Irreversible customer actions. Do not begin with automatic sends, deletions, opt-outs, account changes, or promises. Number 3. High-consequence judgment. Legal conclusions, compliance decisions, hiring decisions, safety instructions, and exceptions to pricing policy require qualified human review. A complicated approval flow can eventually support some of these tasks, but they are a terrible place to learn what your first workflow forgot. If I were implementing this for a real solo business, I would spend the first week on only 1 task. Day 1. Choose a frequent internal job. Day 2. Collect 10 real examples, remove private data, and write the correct result for each. Day 3. Create an approved source document. Day 4. Write a prompt that defines the output and forbidden actions. Day 5. Test the 10 examples and keep the failures. Day 6. Add a review checklist and an audit log. Day 7. Run it in draft-only mode. Do not connect the send button because 3 examples looked good. The goal of week 1 is not autonomy. It is a boring, inspectable first pass that fails safely. Here is the final ranking. Notes to action plan: 94. Inbox triage, 91. Grounded FAQ drafts, 88. Routine reply drafts, 86. Owned content repurposing, 83. Weekly KPI commentary, 80. Quote first draft, 74. The project folder contains the synthetic inputs, expected answers, prompts, outputs, scorecard, and audit report. The one classification error remains visible. I am not claiming a specific number of hours saved because this test did not measure a real operator against the workflow. The practical conclusion is smaller and more useful. Automate preparation before permission. Next, I will take one of these tasks and run it through N8N, Make, and Zapier under the same conditions, then compare setup, maintenance, failure handling, and cost.